Good morning, good morning. Hey, Oka, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. How are your eyes? Hope you're healing well from that surgery. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Chris, how are you? Well, well. I'm glad you're feeling better, brother. Hey, Moran, how are you? Leslie, good to see you. Welcome, everyone joining us on YouTube and in our trading room at the Trading Syndicate. Raj, what's up, brother? All right, how you doing? So, we have a saying where I grew up. The old people say this is a real dog's breakfast. This market is a real dog's breakfast. Oh, Howard, it will correct lower, just not when you think it will. Okay? So if you were with us this morning, I, I had a lot of coffee. Well, not so much a lot of coffee, but my girlfriend bought this really strong coffee from M&S. And so I was just I was just like going on and on. Well, and I had to keep you guys awake because the price action was so crappy. And there's a reason. Tomorrow is month end. Okay, that's reason number one. Okay? Reason number two is this ridiculous big gap here. Now, as a large trader, if you looked at a market and you said, it's month end and there's a massive gap, would you buy 5,000 contracts here at 61.50? You'd be like, get out of here, right? So you've got nobody initiating, right? Nobody initiating. You've got a gap. You've got month end. And what do we have going into next week? We have the 4th, right? Biggest U.S. holiday. Things are slowing down, folks. It's ugly for the shorts because they're trapped. They're trapped here, right? If we go look at these charts, the shorts are trapped here and here and here. Those are the three visible short positions. There are also short positions in the market where you guys, the structure, if you're a little bit more structure orientated, you'll be able to find them. Now, everybody wants to know, do gaps always fill? No. Well, maybe after 5 years or 10 years, I don't know. But we still have gaps from years ago that have not filled. So you never ever short into a gap thinking that it must fill. Whoever has been sprouting that should be taken out and beaten. And then covered with honey and stuck to an anthill. All right? Because so many poor souls have blown up their accounts shorting into a gap that doesn't fill. I don't know where that came out with. Look, here's the deal in trading, folks. You want to know a little secret? Unless you have the order flow to do something, it ain't gonna happen. Okay? Right? Maybe in Disneyland fantasy trading, right? Snow White and the Seven Market Makers. Well, that sounds kind of rude. In that kind of a world, maybe all gaps get filled. But it's not like all dogs go to heaven. Okay? Yeah, we have gaps from years ago that have not. A gap is a short position, right? And eventually short positions get covered at great expense, right? But here's the thing, right? Yeah, I don't know if we should repeat that, Taco. That sounds kind of like sounds a little rude. I wasn't trying for rude. I was trying for Disney, but I think I've been doing this too long. Anyway, what do we do on days like this? Right? Because when when these markets get like this, it drives us crazy. Now I've had one, two, three. I think I did 6 one-on-one sessions this morning with with guys that I mentor, and every one of them is frustrated. Right? I want to try and change that around. Month end is tomorrow. Market maker month end is the last trading day of the month, which is Friday, because they have to provide liquidity all the way to the end. Christian, and good to see you. We got distribution. We've got slow distribution, but it's good distribution. Now, here's something that I want to change. There's a lot of things I want to change. I don't know if I will, right? But before I depart this earth and go to the clearing firm in the sky, I want to do two things. I want to teach normal people how to trade where they make money and they don't lose and blow up their accounts. And number two, I want to teach you guys how to relax when it's time to relax. When you see markets like this, right, if you're not a market profile trader, you don't have access to that, you don't see that. But you do have access to the candle wax chart. And the candle wax chart, when it was like this during Globex, just leave that alone. Right? Just leave that alone. You know what this kind of market is like? A lot of times in these markets, you'll see areas like this, and you might take a trade, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with taking a trade and get stopped out. But if you notice that it's going back and forth like this, like a barcode on a box of Wheaties or Captain Crunch or Count Chocula, right? Whatever your preferred breakfast cereal is, right? Lucky Charms. That's like a barcode. Don't trade that. You know what trading this is? This is like walking in Central Park at 3 o'clock in the morning with $100 bills hanging out of your pocket. You're just looking to get robbed. Right? It's just looking to get robbed. Now, the all-time high adjusted and all that, Raj, is 6,300 and something. Let's just get through month end first before we work on a new all-time high. Right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? I just want to make it through month end without any of my traders blowing up. Right? And just coasting. Last month I was away, right, for month end. I had no idea. That was the best month end of my life. In 33 years, last month was the best month end I ever had. Because I wasn't in front of a screen, I had no idea what was going on. Okay? As a retail trader, your goal in life is to take month end off. Go fishing, go surfing, go to the beach, you know, go sailing, you know, golfing, right? Month end should be enjoyed. It not you shouldn't sweat through it trying to grind out a buck, right? The only people who are trading this month end, and I'm not saying don't trade, right? But make your money and then learn when to relax. When you see, I want you guys, when you see price action like this and like this, instead of trading it a bunch of times and getting trapped and stopped out, right? I want you guys to relax. When you relax, then when a good trade finally comes around, you'll be nice and relaxed and you'll be able to get it. You'll be able to see it. You won't be worn out from beating this thing with a stick. You get what I'm saying? Also, it's summer, right? Enjoy your summer a little bit, right? Right? The 4th is coming up. I love a good 4th of July party. Hamburgers, hot dogs, fireworks. It's a beautiful thing, right? All the large traders aren't in their offices, right? They'll be out on their yachts, like James, sailing, right? And that's what your goal is, right? This is a perfect time to take it easy, right? It's liberating. You're supposed to trade to take your financial future into your hands, right? So part of that is learning how to relax a little bit, right? The trades are few and farther in between. And I'm going to say this, and I know I keep cursing us because I say this every month end. Next month, maybe business will kind of go back to normal. Nobody will bomb anybody. Nobody will get into a fight with anybody. And we could just go about moving inventory. Right? All we're supposed to do is move inventory back and forth, up and down, right? Just enough drama, and just let us do some work next month. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, what else could they do? They had a war. They had tariffs. Edith and Archie were fighting that one week, right? Mom and Dad were fighting. What else is there? This is leave it all alone now, right? Let's just go back to work. Nice, calm, boring markets. They're beautiful, right? So how are we going to trade this crazy thing today? Well, we'll trade less. You'll size down, and you'll really wait for your setup. And this month's news cycle has been insane. This month's news cycle is like one of those weird movies where they make stuff up, right? You couldn't make this stuff up, though, right? So overnight inventory is long. Let's go through the motions and go through the steps. Inventory is long because it's mostly above yesterday's close. Last night, I said to everybody, I'm looking for a move down. That wasn't much of a move down because what I was looking for a move lower so the people who got trapped short could get a fill. But our low at 61.38 and a quarter, that tells you where the large shorts are trapped. And then the newer time frame shorts are trapped at higher levels. I'm looking to see if we pull back at all. And when we do pull back, where it hits a brick wall. Right? Now, the scenario I don't want, which they're toying with us right now, is if we open on another gap. So 61.58 is one of my levels. What's our high? So we came to 61.57 and 3/4. And we stopped. And we kind of backed off by a couple of points. Let's see, because what I think might happen is if it's slow, we're going to go back and forth between 51 and 58 and try and move this inventory off here. Right? We might, if we get up above 58, here's the warning. If we get above 58 and it does this, like, you see what I'm doing? This is that crappy, horrible price action. But you notice, if you're short here, it's getting ugly here. And that's how they get you. Because they're doing this, you think, oh, it looks weak. Oh, there's a little move down. Hey, what's going on? All of a sudden I'm short and I'm offside 6 points. Right? And then, there we go, right? Once you start doing that, that kind of price action, that's like a drunk trying to get up the stairs at the nightclub. And the bouncers, we'd sit there and go, is he going to make it? And a lot of the times the guy would make it. They'd stumble around, but they'd get to the top of the stairs. Right? And if you're short down here, it gets ugly here. But that kind of price action sucks you in. Beware of that today. So use how to avoid that is to use the levels. So if we get accepted above 58, be careful shorting. Right? There's that 57 and 3/4, 58. Right? And our high was 57 and 3/4. Right? Right? So this balance thing works. Right? And yesterday, I said, market folks want to push prices higher. And all you have to do to push price higher is not sell. The best way to create buying is to not sell. I'm going to give you an example, right? I'm not a Rolex guy, okay? But I have friends who are. And when you go into a Rolex store, they won't sell you a watch. They say they've got nothing there. And you have to go on a waiting list, right? And the truth of the matter is they've got a vault full of watches. But they cut supply to get people to pay more, right? And that's exactly what happens in these markets. You just cut supply, price goes up because no one is selling. The people who are forced buyers, like the shorts, keep pushing prices up higher and higher and higher, right? Now, if you catch me paying 20 grand for a watch, I want you to give me a good beating and beat some sense back into me, right? Right? Yeah, let's take a look at NVIDIA, Rolly, right? NVIDIA is above 144.78. That's significant. And I have this level at 149.60 on NVIDIA, and we're trading 149.67. The high was 147.50. So if we get above there, be careful shorting that puppy, right? So be careful if we get above 58. Because I have one level at 61.64 which I'll go put in right now. And there's a stop there from months and months and months ago, right? And if we break that level, right, Oh, the big players are on vacation. Listen, if you had made 150 million in the first couple of quarters, right? You got that nice house in the Hamptons, right? You gonna go hang out, do whatever Hamptons people do. I don't know. I've never been invited to the Hamptons. I never get invited to the beach house. I always get invited to the office, but I never get invited to the beach house. But whatever it is you guys do at the beach house, they'll be doing, right? I'm just like I'm like a stock mechanic, right? Like I'm the guy who works on people's stocks. Like somebody works on your minivan. I'm just the guy like drop it off at the office. Oh yeah, you cleaned up the stock. Thanks, JJ. Right? Oh, you fixed the short position. Okay, thank you. Right? We're going to the Hamptons. I'm like, I'm not doing anything this weekend. Right? Right. So I'm just a mechanic. I don't know how to play golf. I think I'm the only trader who doesn't know how to play golf. It looks relaxing. But all my friends who play golf look really angry when they play golf. I don't know why. I think it would be healthy with all the walking. But all my friends who play golf, they're always in a bad mood. I don't understand. It's supposed to be relaxing, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know. I saw The Legend of Bagger Vance, with Will Smith and Matt Damon. After that, I wanted to go golfing. It looked like a very sort of zen in the art of like golfing kind of thing. Oh man, you know, while we're waiting for now, what we're waiting for is we're waiting for this point of control to move up, and that'll show good distribution. Tells us how sales are doing. Honestly, I've taken one scalp this morning. I haven't traded. I did 6 one-on-ones, and in between the one-on-ones, all I did was I was on Motorcycle Trader. I do it every spring. I'm not going to buy a motorcycle, but every spring I'll spend at least 2 or 3 weeks looking at used motorcycles. Just can't get it out of my blood. Right? So that's pretty much what I've been doing all week. Is I've been on Motorcycle Trader, and of course I'm not going to buy one. I don't know if I still have the reflexes to ride a motorcycle. So let's see if we can move that point of control up. I really don't want us to open on another gap. We have 4 minutes, so we might get lucky and open inside range. Yeah, and of course I'm not going to buy one. I'm just going to look. Skip it all and buy some Geritol, maybe. Maybe. This is a great market if you're a wholesaler or if you're a size trader. But for us scalpers, oh my goodness. Brutal. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? So, folks, before we start, little plug for our trading room at the Trading Syndicate. Use that 25% off code. Give us a shot. It's 50 cents a day. And I promise we'll give you good information that you can use, practical information, so you can manage your risks. You take good trades, make good business decisions. Right? I teach and trade in there every morning, every night. I'm always in there. Right? And the added bonus, well, for you guys, is my girlfriend's out of town for 4 months. I'm going to be in the room all the time because I got nothing else to do except exercise. I got to get my 10,000 steps in. But other than that, I'm there and I'm available all the time. Hey, Redbeard, what's going on? Right? And not just me. We have other traders. Like if you're a commodities trader, and commodities is your thing. We have a guy who's ex Goldman, who's one of our commodity guys, and he teaches. And it's just a nice community. And also, we'll teach you how to work those funded trader accounts, so you can learn how to make a living using other people's money, which is always nice, right? What are those numbers for order flow? This? You mean this on the side here? That's just volume. That's just the volume per tick. Hey, Plendels, good morning. How you doing? And order flow, folks, it's just a fancy way of saying customers. See how the point of control moved up? So that's good distribution. Now that we've sold a good amount of our inventory, do we get a sale? Let's see. Right? The shorts are trapped at 52. So if it breaks 52, look for 48. Now I know these aren't huge price targets, but just remember, folks, you know, we have to trade what the market gives us. So let's see where we open. Looks like we might open on a gap, at least a tick or two. Oh, and now not. Come on, push it down, push it down. Be normal. Okay, no gap. But there is some buying at 54. Now it's going to take that stop. Watch when it comes down to 52. If it turns and reverses, it'll try and hit the overnight high. If it can't take out 52, it'll reverse up to 57. There's 57. There's the overnight high. Now the next level I have is 61.64. Okay, so now if we accept, oh, my poor short sellers are just hurting. Right? This could be a look above and fail. Let's see. Right? Now, if you're a short seller and you're shorting this thing, your stop is here, okay? Don't waste too much money shorting it. Okay? Because if it takes out 60, there's no sense being short. If it takes out 60, nobody has to sell under 60, so there's no reason to be short. Okay. Little distribution, right? Little distribution. So remember what I said? We're going to sell that inventory, which is priced here. We're going to sell it here. Now, the problem with that is if the market stays stable long enough, it's going to attract buyers. Make sure I VWAP's at 49. And this is literally that kind of market where you'll check your machine and go, is my computer working? Is this thing actually moving? So say you shorted 57, 56, right? I'd buy a little back at 53. Because if you can't buy any at 53, the market's telling you we're running out of supply, and price is going to go back up. Wow, everybody is in the Hamptons. One of these days we'll get an invitation to the Hamptons. I want to see what it's all about. Right? So when it's like this, don't get frustrated. Just relax. Hey, market trader, how you doing? Thanks, Hank. Powell talks at 4 o'clock? Okay. See, this is, remember I told you guys about that creepy price action? And it looks weak. Looks like it's going to fall over. Next thing you know, it's 3 points higher. Thanks, James. You know, I've never traded YM. Does anybody actively trade it? Nobody ever asks for a chart. I still remember when the Dow crossed 10,000. That was such a big event. Is it smooth, really? I'll have to check it out. You watch Secret of My Success? That's a good movie. Oh, man, that's a good movie. Yeah, I missed the 80s. Oh, boy, chopped salad. See, this thing, it's too sticky to short it. And you really, and if you're going long, make sure you sell into strength, which means if you see some money on a long, take it, pick it up. I mean, unless you're a larger trader, and then you have, your way of holding trades and that stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not preaching, but I like to see people get paid. Uh, all right, we're starting to creep over that overnight high. Oh, maybe not. Just relax, folks. Just take it easy. Everything will just fall into place. Hey, Doc, how you doing? It's true. It's light volume, very light volume. Ah, the front side and the back side of a move? Good question. So this is the front side of the move when price is getting marked up. And so just try and find a clean example here. Oh, here we go. Okay, just going to move this over here. So this is the front side of the move. This is the back side of the move. If you think of a mountain, this is the front of the mountain. I mean, if you're approaching from this way, this is the back. So what you want to do is when you're shorting, you want to short the back side of that move. So if you're short, you have a place to put your stop, and you know that sellers are competing. You always want to short the back side of a move. That's the cleanest example I can find of one. Because this is to take price up, right, like they're doing now, to get people to go, ooh, I should buy some. And then they run out of buyers, and then they put it on sale. That's the side that you want, right? This is the taking the stuff to Saks Fifth Avenue. This is from Saks Fifth Avenue to TJ Maxx. Does that make sense? The backside will begin after it puts in its high. You wait and watch, Jeannie, right? And you'll see it'll hit a level, and then the offer will start moving lower. Now, that's a very small example, but it's the same thing. And it's not that complicated. It's just that you've never done it before. And as soon as you start watching it, you're going to train your eye to it. And it's just like that game we used to play when we were kids. You see a yellow Volkswagen Beetle or a Volkswagen Bug and you punch the person next to you. Remember that game? Next thing all you see are yellow Volkswagens, right? So when you train your eye in trading, it's just repetition. There's no special skill involved. It's just repetition. And you repeatedly watch that, you'll be really, really surprised how quickly you pick it up. It's just repetition. Those are VWAP bands, yeah. So what I usually do, because I don't like having a lot of stuff on the chart, is I'll just mark off VWAP, right? And then whoa, I'll just mark it and then I'll take the bands off. So it's just nice and clean. So I can watch. See, now this is what I was warning people about. See how now they've got everyone trapped under 58, right? Because the volume's right there, right? The green, the green areas, no, no, no. This is the cost basis. And I have videos in our room about this. This is the profit zone, and this is 4 times profit. So this is if you bought something for $1, this is 2, and then it's 4 up top. So you can keep track of your inventory. Because all this is a sales chart showing the distribution of goods. In this case, it's the ES, right? In NQ, it's the NQ. As far as all those videos, stay with me. There's a welcome video, and then there's this video on inventory and cost basis. And I'm just gonna copy it and put it here, right in the general chat. Start there, right? Right, S-Pill, sell into strength, right? That's why one of my favorite sayings taught to me by my first boss in the business was I never saw a bid I didn't like. I never saw a bid I didn't like. You show me a bid, I'll fill it. Always a seller. Not a short seller, a seller. Right? Because the goal is to move inventory. Right? Remember Seinfeld. Bad lighting and cheap fabric. That's how you move product. And see, remember when I was drawing those candles before the open? I was going like this. Notice this. No, it's like the same, right? It looks so weak. It looks so tired. And then you short it, and it doesn't go down. It's very frustrating to try and short this market. The worst time to short a market is before month end or before the end of the quarter because you're shorting against the tide, right? All these asset managers, all these guys, they want, and ladies, right? They want their portfolios up so their multi-million dollar clients keep sending them money, right? It's a big thing, right? Like Hank's my client. He's got $30 million with me, right? I'm going to see him in the Hamptons this weekend. If I'm down 12% in the fund, he might do that, JJ, can we talk? And you don't want that, right? So instead of avoiding him, we'll try and mark something up. Ooh, liquidation. Now, look above and fail at 57 3/4. If you're selling this, you got a place to put your stop. This could be the backside of the move, right? Could we be lucky? A little inventory correction? So, right, I sold 56 3/4, and I'm going to put my stop here at 58 1/4, 58 and a half, sorry, right? And this is the backside, I hope. If not, I get stopped out. Cost of doing business, right? So I'm just short right here because I saw a seller. If that seller goes away at 57 3/4, I might scratch the trade, right? In fact, I might not even let it go to 59 or 58 3/4. I might scratch it. If that next candle in 25 seconds opens above 58, then I know, I might be too early on the short. Do you see how I'm doing it now? So you're short. My stop is here, and I could move my stop down here if I get into trouble. Now I'm going to go put in a bid at 55 1/4 just to see if I get hit. And if I can't get anything at 55 1/4, I'll just move up and scrub the trade, right? If we stall out here and that offer starts lifting, right? I'll move my bid up to 55 3/4. It's not a lot of money, right? But I want to see if the trade's even possible. Okay, I'm filled. I filled actually at a half. So that's the look above and fail. It looks above, it fails. You sell, you put your stop here, and then I moved my stop down, right? And then I put some bids in, and I covered the trade. That's it. It's not a lot of movement. Like, I did that trade using 2 micros, so, you know, it's not like I'm going to the Bentley dealership after this session, right? So, right. Oh boy. Hey, look, you got to have a laugh. Okay, we filled the single words. Good stuff, Chris. There's VWAP. I look at 23-hour VWAP, David. So now I know you guys have all kinds of VWAP, right? You've got Cool Ranch VWAP, Honey Mustard VWAP, VWAP anchored here, there, everywhere, right? I just use one. I anchor it at 6 p.m. Eastern Time when Globex opens, so it's VWAP for the whole 23-hour session. The less things I have to look at, the happier I am. The more stuff I put on my screen, the harder it is for me to execute. I get information paralysis. Now, some people, they don't have that. Like, we've got one of our guys in our room. He's like literally a genius, like Mensa level. He's a rocket scientist. He actually builds rockets. And he sits in front of 12, 13 monitors. I don't know what he's looking at, but he seems to understand it all, right? Me, I just need one chart to trade, and as simple as possible, right? And I don't use VWAP to initiate. I use it to get out of trades. So if I'm short, I'll short it down to VWAP. No, I have other monitors, but when I trade, I just look at this, right? One of my monitors will have the outer execution, right? But I mean, I know a lot of like 10-figure traders who just use one monitor. Older guys. You don't need anything else. Yeah, what do you need to see? Oh no. The president's got a news conference? What now? What now? Please, no more news. Oh, doesn't that guy ever go on vacation? The other guy was always on vacation. That's crazy. Ugh. Although yesterday's little news snippet was pretty funny. When he was swearing, I thought that was hilarious. That sounded like he was on a trade desk. That was hilarious. Okay, well, maybe he'll say something controversial and we'll get some movement. You never know. It's like a jack in the box, right? I mean, we really could lose. We need some liquidation, folks. Like what you just saw from 58 down to 51, that's great for a couple of points for us to scalp. But golly, we need some more selling. What's a pastry? Well, I honestly thought we were going to get a little lower than 49.50. That's disappointing. But it does give us a piece of information, ladies and gentlemen. It tells us that the shorts are really trapped under 50. Our latest, the new fresh meat shorts are trapped here. We just tested the bid. And now rotation back up. Look for, yep, there's 57 and 3/4. Wow. Somebody's really short. Somebody's really short. We should have gotten a little bit more liquidation than that. We couldn't even get and take out that stop at 47.5. How was the coin of bitterness this morning? Oh, look at it go. 108. There's that guy, what's his name? Elliot and his waves. And he says Bitcoin will never get over 112,000. I'm like, I don't know how he came up with that. But let's see if he's right. I'm long, so I hope it does. Coinbase is doing really well. Well, maybe the president will just go and insult Powell, and then he'll be done. I've never seen a sitting president insult the chairman of the Federal Reserve. I never thought I'd live long enough to see that. How do you understand? Good question. The sellers initiate at the top of the candle. And when you go back there, they're likely to initiate again because they have size. How do I know this? Because I used to be the top of the candle. When you're the top of the candle, you're competing with other sellers and you push price down, putting it on sale. It's the easiest thing. The top of the candle is where the sellers initiate. And if the next candle top is lower, it means that the sellers are competing. Right? Because how does price get lowered? Sellers have to compete and lower price. That's the only way price gets lower. Otherwise, you're dealing with the snooty Rolex dealer who wants to sell you a watch at 30% over list. These, I really did not appreciate. See how the sellers are right there at 59? See how it just hit it again to the tick, right? I never appreciated how much information you can get off a simple 1 minute candle chart until I started paying attention. And you don't even need all of the patterns and technical analysis. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not ditzing it, but I'm just saying the pure raw information that you can get off a 1 minute candle chart that nobody talks about. Why does nobody talk about it? Because it sounds so simple. You sound like Gomer Pyle when you talk about it. But it works because it's the truth. Come on, sell something. Good grief. What kind of market is this? It's like going into those fancy furniture stores. Can I help you? How much is this couch? Well, if you have to ask, oh, get out of here. That's what this market is like now. How much for an ES contract? Well, if you have to ask. Come on, put it on sale. We get a nice liquidation, we'll get some nice price action. Come on. Let's go. There we go. Look above and fail at 57 and 3/4. Right? Your stop is 58, 59. I did not take the long, no. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this. I was not expecting this at all. I was expecting this and then lower. Now maybe we might get a little lower. Come on. And what we might get is a rotation, which is this. Like this or this. Where it just goes back and forth. Ooh. Anybody have any questions? Just waiting to see if we get if we could get down to 53. It's taking its sweet time, isn't it? Well, folks, that is a slow month end. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I might have to take a golf lesson, James. But I'm game. I'm definitely game. Oh, yeah, not much going on here, folks. If you don't mind, let's go take a quick look at the equity world and see what's going on. Nvidia is really doing well, above 149.60 now. Impressive. Palantir, I just keep having to do more levels. I'm very happy for all those people who held that stock through the ugly times. Tesla, right? Distribution, little cost basis here back to 320, and it's back. Coin, new highs on coin. Coin, I got a 392 price target on. Okay, Amazon's not doing much. Amazon, see, you see that? If you got a level like in Amazon 219, 30, 40, and you see those candles lining up, and you see the tops of those candles are exactly the same, you got a seller, right? You've got selling competition before that price level. Yeah, old Microsoft, eh? An oldie but a goodie. Look at that. I got a 504.52 target on Microsoft. And we're getting close. Hit 494.56 so far this morning. Apple, I don't know what Apple's going to do. Right? One thing I did know is my girlfriend and I, we were in where the hell were we? We were in some city, and she wanted to look at that Apple headset, right? And it was like $4,000. I almost choked on my tongue. And we went to go look at it, and they wouldn't show it to us. They're like, you have to make an appointment. Nope, not interested to make an appointment to overspend. What else do we have? Meta, same thing. One chart I don't have is Netflix. That is one that I missed with my clients and telling them to get long when it sold off. That's pretty much it. I do not trade stocks at all. I don't trade stock at all. Um, I don't buy stock. The only thing, oddly enough, that I own for a longer term investment is Bitcoin and all your crypto schmipto stuff. But I don't own stock. Um, when I work on companies, they give me stock for free. So there's no reason to ever buy stock. I get stock, I sell it. Bandy, they don't know who I am. I'm just a I'm just a dude who teaches people how to trade. It's not like I'm a celebrity or something. I'm VWAP trader. What? Who the hell's that? Get out of the store. It's not like I'm Frank Sinatra or anything. You know? Yeah, you guys are hilarious. Besides, I always make fun of Apple, so they probably hate me. If they even know I exist. Speaking of not existing, my goodness. B period is an inside bar. Can we spend more than 3 minutes under VWAP? That's my big question of the day. Right? I'm sorry I'm laughing so much. But can we spend more than 3 minutes under VWAP? That'll be a big thing. Oh boy. Come on. Dear Lord, sell something, please. Sell more than 2 contracts. Come on, you guys. There we go. Ooh, a sell order. Wake up. All right. Okay, that's not even half a minute under VWAP. Come on. No, VWAP is just it's something that was invented in the 80s, right? By a brokerage firm called Abel Noser back in the old days. Or Abel Noser, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So what VWAP is, it's just an average price where price and volume. And it's used to judge traders. So Anton, if you gave me an order, you said, JJ, buy me 1,000,000 shares of this stock. I'm going to work that order through the day, and I'm going to try and get you prices under VWAP. If you tell me to sell 1,000,000 shares of stock throughout the day, I'm going to try and get you prices above VWAP So you call me for another trade. Now, of course, this is all done electronically now, so nobody has to call anybody. It's all programmed to try and what they call VWAP execution strategies, right? So they try and goose the software to make sure that you're getting good prices in relation to VWAP for size participants. So what I use VWAP is for a place to close trades. So if I was short 57, I'd buy it back at VWAP. Right, now let's see. We're 1 minute under VWAP. Woohoo! 1 minute, 13 seconds. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's close this candle under VWAP. There we go. Come on, take out that A low. I'm not short. Why do I want the move down? Because liquidation is like grease or oil. It lubricates the market. See, Pende, markets are there for liquidation. They're not there to hog all the contracts. So when they go up too high, they stop trading nicely. I want a nice, good liquidation. Number one, it'll fill the shorts in before month end a bit, right? That's a double bottom, so there's competitive buying. Let's break that. Come on, come on. I just want better price action. And when you get some selling, you get better price action. There we go. There we go. Target will now be 48 and then 46 quarter. See you, Jerry. Have a good one. Looking for that stop right here. Yeah, I'm not short right now. I'm not even in a trade. At least it's not an inside bar. Ugh. Now let's go find the bid. Oh, 61.48 is where the sellers were before. So usually where the sellers were before, they were selling 48, it'll be support because the position's underneath it. It's very simple, uncomplicated way, the way I think. Right? So if they were selling 48 before, all the inventory is under 48. So when it goes on sale, they'll put it back on sale right to where they bought it, right? Simple. Right? And that's the big thing that we do. No little plug for the room at thetradingsyndicate.org. Everything is simple, right? Everything is practical so you can use it, right? A lot of these trading rooms, and bless them, they talk a lot of nonsense. And as they say in the UK, they talk a lot of porky pies, right? None of the information is useful, right? But it makes you sound smart. I'm like, here's the buyer, so here you put your bid here, right? So if you were buying this, you'd put your buy order here, your stop under here, right? And then you'd sell at VWAP because everybody else is going to. So you want to sell before they take your customer, right? Trading is simple. It's because we got to keep the analysis simple because the execution is not easy, right? Trading is a very simple business, but it's not an easy business. So if you're trading, right, you have to have a reason to take the trade. There's no supply. I'm going to be a supplier. I'm long. My stop is here, right? I know everyone's going to sell, so I'm going to sell here, and then I'm going to sell here, and then I'm going to sell here, and then here. And you got to be quick, and there's nothing wrong with that, Derek. Learn how to be a fast trader, because a slow trader is about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop, right? Nobody wants a slow trader, right? You want a fast trader who can execute, get in there, get out, quick, 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 right? My first client was this Swiss banker, and he'd call me at 3 o'clock in the morning screaming if I didn't answer my phone on the first ring, right? Trades had to be done in 30 seconds or less. And those were phone trades. Be fast. Very. Right? So that's where one of my things is I get I enter trades too early because I'm used to being quick. Right? See, like my claim to fame was I could hit 6 to 8 bids simultaneously using phone lines. Right? If I could hit 6 bids at the same time, my clients love that. Right? So when I started retail trading, I always thought I had to be first. Wrong. Right? So you ever get into a trade, you get stopped out, and then like 2 minutes later it works? That's me. That's why I had to work on this look below and fail, look above and fail, and really wait for the market to show you that what you think is happening is really happening. And at first, it's horrible at first because it seems like you're missing everything, right? Or you're too slow or you're too fast. You just feel like you're dancing with a girl and you're stepping on her toes. But don't worry, it's just repetition. All it is just repetition, and you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over, right? So don't give up. Just put in the reps. You'll get there. And we'll help you as much as we can. Yeah, and don't feel bad about practicing. It was like a little squirt of WD-40. It's not like they emptied out the can. Right? They're still being selfish with the contracts. So when I work for companies, the insiders, right? The people who finance the company at a cheap price, like so say Anton, you and James and Derek and Utkarsh and MP take a company public, and you guys have 200 million shares between your group. You'll give me 1 million shares to work on the deal. Do I think I could make a living from the markets with just candle charts? Hell yes. Definitely. Definitely. I hold on to TPO charts because that's how I kind of learned how to retail trade, and I like them, but it took me a long time to learn how to use them in a simple way, right? How did I decide to go ditch what I used to do? It was decided for me. My best friend and partner died, and I had a heart attack and a quintuple bypass. So I had to go do something less stressful than doing deals. So I thought retail trading would be a walk in the park. I was one of the, how hard could it be? Right? I can manipulate a stock, from $5 to $30 with one hand tied behind my back. How hard can retail trading be? Oh my God, was I wrong? Humble pie, right? Retail trading's really hard because you can't cheat, right? There's no place to stuff bad trades. You can't get market makers to eat losses for you, right? Yeah, well, and you can't cheat. Look, if I was trading on a trade desk and I was screwing around in my account and I took a $5,000, $10,000 loss, I'd call up one of my market makers and they'd eat it, right? You'd call somebody up and you'd go, you had one of our market makers, Tuna, and the other one was called, like, rudely, we used to call him the bitch. Hey, can you put up 5 grand? He'd be like, yeah, give it to me. Because you make them so much money every day, they'll eat losses for you, right? So you have no discipline. When I started retail trading, I had zero discipline. And discipline is the most important thing in retail trading. I had no clue, right? So it was very humbling, right? Because I couldn't trade my way out of a wet paper bag when I first started, right? Making markets and all that stuff is glamorous and great, but retail is a lot harder, right? You have to have discipline. You have to have a methodology. You have to, think in certain ways. And you're always worried about risk, right? Like $500 is a big loss. $1,000, in the old days, you'd wipe your nose with 5 grand, right? That's how much you pay when you take a client out for lunch, right? So it's completely. It was like a big, big serving of humble pie for me, right? It was very humiliating when I started retail trading. So everything that you guys are going through, I went through, right? Just because I worked and put deals together and sold stock and manipulated stocks and all of that sort of stuff, right, didn't make me a good retail trader. I had to do the work. And that's why I swore that I would try and make it simple for people so they don't have to know everything. They just need to know how to make a buck and how to keep their money so they can just enjoy life, right? So everything we do is practical, right? It's practical. And now it looks like we've got a little rotation here. Yeah, this retail, the trick to this retail business is discipline, right? And for me, I never had discipline in anything, right? I was always a slacker. So above VWAP, we'll be looking for that 57, okay? Once again, they stopped selling. You can use anything for charting, really. See, I love Sierra, but it is a bit of a pain in the butt to learn, right? It's great software. I like it, you know, but it is a bit of a challenge. Was I the seller? Yeah, like that. I was the seller. I was always the seller. My whole life I've been a distributor. None of my clients ever said to me, should I buy this or should I buy that stock? They were like, JJ, there's 5 million shares in the account of ABCD Enterprises. Uh, at the end of the week, I want there to be no stock in that account. Go to work. Start shoveling, right? That's all I've done is distribute. No, I didn't even know about TPO charts until after my heart attack. First time I saw them, I was like, what the hell is this? And to honestly tell you the full truth, for the first sort of 2 or 3 months looking at TPO charts, I had a headache every day at the end of the day. They would give me a headache like when you eat ice cream too fast. You'd literally, they would give me like an ice cream headache, right? And without the pleasure. It was not easy to learn how to do this, right? Now, if I knew then what I know about candles, right? Much different. How do you sell them? Selling stock's easy, Antoine. You're my market maker. You work at Citadel. You get an order from Robinhood to buy 100,000 shares of ABCD stock at $1. You know that I'm the seller, right? So Robinhood gives you the order. You call me, and so JJ, listen, this stock's $1. I can pay 100,000 shares for it. So I go, great, Anton. I sell you 100,000 shares at 97 cents. You make $3,000 for picking up the phone and calling me. The client gets what platform? AT&T, the phone. I used to trade on the phone. Ma Bell was the platform. Just any level 2 software. Yeah, yeah. Dow Jones Telerate, but you don't use it for trading. You just get the level 2. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I would create candle charts, right? I never traded them. I would make them, right? I try and, paint a pretty picture. So you guys come in and I can sell stock. Look, right? This is one of my deals that I did for my clients. See how I started the stock down here and we creep it up and creep it up and creep it up. And then I sell out of that $28 million, I sell at least 25, right? So my clients have $25 million in cash at the end of the day. And I've done my job and I created a nice pretty chart, right? This is all me. That's all me. You guys don't know it, but it's all me. Every single one of those bids and offers, every one of those market makers, they all report to me, right? It was fun. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. I'm almost done the book. Hopefully by the time I'm done, people will still want to read it. Right. Anyway, folks, that's it for me. Have a wonderful morning. Stay out of trouble. Right? Don't overtrade. Don't let them pick your pocket. Don't fall for the old mustard trick in the subway where they put mustard on your head, you reach up, and then they pull your wallet out. And if you need any help, DM me at any time. I'm vwaptrader1, right? Try and like and subscribe on these videos. It's good for the old algorithms. It keeps the algorithms fed. I teach candle knowledge and TPO knowledge. Yep. And if you're really nice to me, I'll teach you how to hide a short position in Switzerland for a year. Okay, that's it for me. Done for now. Have a great morning, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.